You were in Israel, and I would be remiss if I didn't get you to clarify all this. So let's play. This is from, I think, 10 Things I Hate About Israel, a video you put out. Maybe I have the name wrong. You could correct me. But here was kind of number 10.
Every story is, then the Egyptians killed us, and then it was King Solomon, and he wiped out these people and everywhere, so we can't trust you anymore. No. That's not a good attitude to have. Even Purim was, then King, it's always from like 7,000 years ago too. Then King Mahas said, kill the Jews. And we said no, and we have a big party. And even then though, why did we trust him in the first place? He was so evil. And the constant kvetching.
Why, you know, there were other things in there. Some of it was funny, I guess, the food, the this, the that. But when it comes to that, and, you know, Jewish history is unique in that they have always been hunted and killed and exterminated and, you know, attacked. And Purim, for instance, is not a oy vey kind of kvetching. It's a celebration. It's a party that they survived that. As are so many others. So what were you trying to say there? And what about those who are criticizing you? I mean, you got favorable tweets from David Duke and from that white supremacist guy who they were going after Trump from. Now, I'm not saying you wanted it. You said vehemently you didn't want it and you don't like those people. I'm not accusing you of that. But why go where you went? What were you trying to say there?
Well, I went to Israel hoping that I'd finally find some Western arrogance, some chauvinism. And when I got there, I saw the same Judeo-Christian liberal disease that we have here in the West, where people are constantly apologizing for their culture and saying, you know, even the IDF, who I now call the Israeli Defensive Forces, they kept saying, you know, you have to understand what happened 75 years ago. I mean, we're justified in being here, and we have to make sure this never happens again. And, you know, the Scots were persecuted for 700 years, and they're guilty of this too, by the way. Like, their national anthem has a line, and sent them homeward to think again. You know, you don't have that in China. They had 70 million killed, and there's Mao statues on every corner. So what I was saying in that rant, where someone just took the beginning, where I said I'm disappointed in Israelis, and then left out the end where I go, I wish they were prouder and more arrogant, is get over the past, get over justifying everything and say, this is Israel, take it or leave it, it rocks. Yeah, there's a giant wall here and it rules. And I'm so proud of Trump for being the best pro-Israeli president we've ever had, and I love his wall. But I didn't get that there. I got the exact same thing you get with liberals in New York, which is, oh, it's terrible, and we have to change it. Trump is the next, he's going to be the next Nazi. That's like anyone who's blonde and alpha is the next Nazi, even when he's on your side.
But you probably talked, believe me, that exists there to an extent, what you just said. Trump is the enemy, and but that's the left in Israel, and it's significant. But their government is right-wing and has been for several years. Their success is amazing economically. I mean, their inventions, their technical. But yeah, but maybe you were talking not to the right-wingers. Maybe you should have gone geographically somewhere else and ran into some people who would have said, "Oh man, we love Trump," which I think the polls would show they do.
It wasn't enough. And I was in Tel Aviv. I was in Jerusalem. I was everywhere. But they still, even the whole concept of dwelling in the past is a sort of apology.
But the past is such an important part of being Jewish.
It's a rut. I disagree.
No, but I'm Jewish. It's one of the things, maybe the thing that makes me proudest to be a Jew, that we have survived everything.
So have the Scots, so have the Armenians, so have the Irish.
They're free to feel that way. They're free to feel that way. I'm not saying I have a monopoly on it.
No, I don't like it, man. I don't like it.
Okay. Hey.
Like I had a buddy. Yeah. He's 30 years old, this Jewish guy, and he went to tour Auschwitz and all the camps, and he's showing me the pictures, and it's him and a bunch of 70-year-olds. And I'm like, Saul, you're 30. You should be out getting laid and partying. Go to Tel Aviv. It's basically a giant orgy. Go have some fun. You know, you wouldn't talk to a Quebecer and he'd be saying, look, the Jesuits came here and they were killed. Then the soldiers came and then we had to bring the Filles du Roi in. They just go, this is Quebec. Isn't it wonderful? And I wish Israelis did that more. They have a fantastic country. They have a functioning society in the middle of hell. They should be more arrogant.